Have you ever wondered why those who criticize you the most can't seem to take their eyes off your every move? They whisper behind closed doors, passing judgment like it's their second nature. Their prejudice against you isn't subtle. It's in their side glances, their dismissive tones, and their constant attempts to undermine your presence. Yet despite all of this, they're obsessed. They can't help but watch your every move, dissecting every step you take. Why? Because you intrigue them. You're everything they can't understand and everything they secretly wish they could be. The world seems to recoil when you move with purpose, and those you expect to stand with you are often the first to oppose you. The prejudice and resistance you face come from unexpected corners, family, friends, or even strangers whose faces twist with confusion or disdain as you stand in your truth. Their discomfort isn't about you. It's about the brilliance of your presence exposing the shadows they refuse to confront. Your energy disrupts their carefully constructed illusions, forcing them to see what they have long buried. It isn't hate they feel, it's fear. Their misunderstandings are born from the limits of their own vision. When your voice rises to speak truths they cannot comprehend, they label you difficult or confrontational. When your actions challenge their complacency, they accuse you of overstepping, projecting their insecurities onto you like a shield to protect their fragile sense of self. They cling to the familiar, even if it's toxic, because the unknown you represent terrifies them. To them, your authenticity is not a gift, it's a threat, a mirror reflecting the parts of themselves they don't want to face. If you refuse to be silenced by labels or judgment, drop a comment below saying, "Truth always rises." And then there are the accusations, the biting words designed to strip you of your power. They call you obsessive, invasive, or even dangerous, twisting your intentions into something unrecognizable. They don't realize these accusations are born from their own inner chaos, not your actions. When they label you a stalker, it isn't because of what you've done, but because they feel seen in a way that makes them uncomfortable. Your insight pierces their walls, and their defenses manifest as hostility. They project their own fears of vulnerability onto you because admitting their internal struggles would mean facing themselves. These challenges are not about weakness in you, but about resistance in them. They resist because they fear the confrontation your energy demands. Ego thrives in shadow, and you are the light that banishes it. You force them to see the gap between who they are and who they pretend to be, and that terrifies them. The walls they build, the personas they craft, crumble under the sheer power of your authenticity. This isn't just about you. It's about the choice you represent, the choice to face themselves or to retreat further into denial. And in your presence, denial is no longer an easy escape. November's energy moves like a tidal wave, surging through the collective consciousness and tearing through the shadows of complacency. It brings to the surface what has been buried for far too long: subconscious fears, unresolved karmic threads, and the weight of choices unacknowledged. You, as a chosen one, are not merely caught in this shift. You are its catalyst, a force that magnifies its intensity. Your presence stirs the waters, forcing clarity where others cling to murkiness. You are not here to blend in, you are here to disrupt. You act as a mirror, reflecting truths that many would rather keep hidden. People see in you what they have refused to see in themselves: wounds unhealed, patterns unbroken, lies they have swallowed to avoid the discomfort of growth. They look at you and are forced to confront their own illusions. This is not an act of malice. It is the inevitable consequence of your authenticity. You stand as a living embodiment of what it means to face truth head-on, and that reflection can feel like a burning light to those still bound by their shadows. The moment your light began to burn brightly, you became a target. Not of people alone, but of forces that thrive in the shadows, clinging to the cracks and crevices of existence, feeding on fear, division, and despair. As a chosen one, your radiance is a direct threat to these darker energies. Your presence dismantles their grip, scattering them like dust in a violent storm. They lash out, their attacks deliberate and calculated, because your existence disrupts their dominion. These forces do not come in the obvious forms of monstrous visions or darkened skies. They infiltrate through subtle manipulations and relentless spiritual pressure. They twist circumstances, plant seeds of doubt, and amplify chaos around you, hoping to snuff out your light. They use those closest to you, whose vibrations waver, to sow confusion, creating emotional hurricanes meant to unseat your resolve. They prey on fatigue, loneliness, and moments of hesitation, whispering lies designed to corrode your confidence and sway your purpose. Your light, however, is not fragile. Hold firm to this truth. Your light is unstoppable, your purpose untouchable. No attack can sever the connection between you and the divine. The darkness may roar, but it cannot prevail. Your light shines not just for yourself, but for the countless souls who will find their way through the brilliance you cast into the world. Breaking. Reports indicate you might actually be a chosen one. Symptoms include an overwhelming desire to stop tolerating nonsense, unexplained attraction to spiritual chaos, and an intense craving for weekly calls with fellow badasses. If this is you, congratulations. You're probably already annoying the Archons, and that's our favorite kind of person. That's why you need to join the Obsidian Inner Order, the only place on the internet where you can discuss the universe is your ATM machine, without YouTube breathing down our necks. Connect with 400+ chosen ones who know how to laugh in the face of dark forces, swap battle stories, and maybe even find your cosmic soulmate in chosen singles. Yes, that's a real thing. Don't act like you're not curious. But hurry, because Star Chamber slots are vanishing faster than someone's ex after Mercury retrograde. Stop scrolling. Start thriving. Let's piss off the Matrix together. The link to the Obsidian Inner Order is in the description. Your energy is a fire that both attracts and terrifies, drawing those who cannot resist its pull, yet lack the strength to face its intensity. Those who fixate on you often do so because they see in you what they cannot find within themselves. To them, you are an anomaly, a disruption of their stagnant patterns. They do not understand what they feel, and so they mistake fascination for obsession, gravitating toward your light even as they fear the shadows it exposes in their own souls. There are groups and individuals who, blinded by envy or consumed by insecurity, attempt to manipulate this dynamic. They dabble in spiritual practices without understanding their weight, wielding witchcraft, projection, or energy manipulation as if they were tools for control. They try to tether you, hoping to dim your radiance or siphon your power, thinking they can mold you into something they can possess or subdue. These attempts, however, only reveal their lack of alignment. The forces they invoke are as fragile as the intentions that summon them, breaking apart like smoke when met with your divine protection. This fixation stems from karmic threads they cannot sever. Their inability to let go binds them to cycles of fear and control, and your presence becomes the fulcrum of their struggle. They are drawn to you because you represent liberation from these cycles, a liberation they cannot yet attain. Instead of releasing their attachments, they cling harder, trying to pull you into their orbit, hoping to anchor themselves through your strength. But karma cannot be cheated or bypassed. Their efforts only deepen their entanglement, creating more resistance in their path. You are not here to bear their weight. Their struggles are their own, and their attempts to tether themselves to you are destined to fail. Drop a comment below saying, "I stand free." If you've broken the chains and are walking your path with clarity, your light is not a commodity to be claimed, or an energy to be controlled. It is a force that burns through illusion, dissolving manipulation and rendering all falsehoods inert. Let them orbit if they must, but know this, they cannot touch you. Their fixation is a sign of their own limitations, not of your vulnerability. You remain unshaken, standing firm in your truth, while their shadows dissipate in the fire of your unwavering power. Karmic ties are like invisible chains, binding others to patterns they refuse to break, and when they see your spiritual freedom, they try to ensnare you in their cycles. These bonds are not forged out of malice, but out of fear of facing their lessons alone, fear of the unknown, fear of losing what they think defines them. You, however, are no longer bound. Your freedom is a beacon that exposes the weight of their chains, and rather than confront their own entrapment, they attempt to pull you back into their web. Your liberation from these karmic cycles reveals their bondage with painful clarity. They see in you a path they have not yet found the courage to walk. This recognition burns, not because you have harmed them, but because your existence challenges their denial. They attempt to tether themselves to you, weaving threads of guilt, obligation, or manipulation to keep you within their reach. But these attempts cannot hold. Your essence is no longer bound by their limits, and their threads disintegrate against the strength of your divine purpose. It is vital to understand that their entanglements are not yours to carry. The path they walk is theirs alone, shaped by lessons they must learn. When they seek to draw you into their struggles, remember that their chains are made of their choices, not yours. Your role is not to fix them, not to stay in their darkness, but to illuminate the way forward by remaining steadfast in your own light. They may reach for you, but you are not obligated to reach back if it means compromising your purpose. Staying true to your divine path requires unwavering focus. Entanglements, no matter how subtle, will only serve to distract you from the higher calling you have already answered. Their lessons are sacred, just as yours were, and by refusing to engage in their cycles, you allow them the space to grow. Your freedom is a gift, not just for you but for all who witness it. By remaining untangled, you show them what is possible, even if they are not yet ready to break free themselves. Let your light shine unapologetically, a testament to what liberation looks like. Isolation is not punishment. It is the sanctuary where your soul learns its greatest truths. You may feel the sharp edges of loneliness cutting against you, but understand this. It is the divine's way of drawing you inward, away from the noise of distraction and the chaos of entanglement. This isolation is a shield, a protective cocoon separating you from forces that would seek to diminish your light or divert you from your purpose. You are being preserved, kept away from harm that would otherwise seep into the cracks of your vulnerability. Through this period, your connection to your higher self deepens, becoming an unbreakable thread of guidance and power. Each day spent in solitude refines you, transforming your essence into something stronger, more focused and indomitable. When the time comes to step forward again, you will not return as the same. You will rise unshaken, radiating a strength that can only be born in stillness. Isolation is not the absence of connection. It is the forging of a deeper bond with the truth of who you are and the purpose you carry. Negative energy reveals itself like storm clouds gathering on the horizon, casting shadows over the areas of your life where you are meant to grow. You feel it as obstacles in your expansion, unexpected setbacks, lingering doubts and conflicts that seem to materialize from nowhere. These projections are not coincidences. They are deliberate forces attempting to thwart your ascension. They cling to your light, seeking to dim it, hoping to disrupt your forward momentum. But these challenges are not stronger than you. They are the smoke before the fire, illusions meant to distract you from your power. Your intuition is your compass through this turbulence. Trust it like an unyielding flame, guiding you through the darkness of external negativity. These forces cannot touch your core unless you allow them to. Their only power lies in your reaction. They test your resolve, pushing you to question your path, to doubt your ability, to forget the divine purpose that fuels you. Their presence is not a reflection of weakness, but a confirmation of your strength. The brighter you shine, the harder they try to pull you down. This is the paradox of light. It attracts both admiration and resistance. Stay focused. Fix your gaze on your spiritual goals, the sacred milestones you are destined to achieve. These projections are like hollow winds. They howl and roar but cannot break the mountain of your faith unless you let them. When your focus wavers, remind yourself of who you are: chosen, resilient, unshaken. These distractions are tests, opportunities to prove the depth of your commitment to your higher self. Each obstacle is a chance to demonstrate that your foundation cannot be cracked by external forces. This is not just a battle, it is a refining fire. These projections test your faith, sharpening your resolve like steel forged in flame. They force you to strengthen your boundaries, to deepen your trust in the divine plan, and to anchor yourself in the certainty of your path. Trust that every test you face is not designed to destroy you, but to reveal the limitless power you hold. Your growth is inevitable, your expansion unstoppable, and no projection of negativity can change that truth. Karma strikes with precision, unraveling the lives of those who sow discord and imbalance. Groups facing the consequences of their actions are gripped by struggles that mirror the harm they once inflicted. Financial instability tightening around them like unrelenting chains. Emotional chaos flooding their lives like a storm they cannot control. These are not random hardships, but the direct echoes of what they have sent into the world. Yet, instead of facing this reality, they resist, clinging to pride as a shield, terrified of the vulnerability required to admit their part in their own suffering. Their resistance only deepens their turmoil. Pride, like a fortress built on sand, crumbles under the weight of karmic truth. To admit accountability would mean surrendering their carefully constructed facades, and they fear what lies beneath: guilt, shame, and the raw fragility of a heart unguarded. Rather than confront their healing, they turn their attention outward, fixating on you. Your growth and unshakable purpose become a convenient distraction, a target for their blame, as they convince themselves that their struggles are tied to your existence rather than their choices. This fixation is not about you. It is about their refusal to look within. Your success, your light, your steady rise, it forces them to face their stagnation, and they cannot bear it. Instead of seeking their own healing, they focus their energy on dissecting your actions, projecting their insecurities, and attempting to tether you to their chaos. They hope, perhaps unconsciously, that dragging you into their turmoil will soothe the ache of their own accountability. But it will not. Their healing lies not in your downfall, but in their willingness to confront the truth of their actions. You are not responsible for their suffering. Karma is impartial, delivering lessons to all in accordance with universal balance. Their struggles are their teacher, not their punishment. Your role is to remain aligned, untouched by their attempts to pull you into their storm. By standing firm, you remind them without words that healing is a choice, one they must make for themselves. Your light, unwavering and untangled, becomes not their escape but their mirror, reflecting what they too could achieve if only they faced their truth. Your light is not a gentle flicker. It is a blazing inferno, casting out shadows and leaving nowhere for darkness to hide. Type, "My light is unstoppable," in the comments if you're ready to let your power shine brighter than ever. It is a force that compels transformation, whether others seek it or not. When you stand in your truth, those around you are faced with an undeniable reflection of their own potential and their own neglect. Your presence forces them to confront what they have buried, denied, or suppressed. This is not a burden you carry. It is the inevitability of your radiance. You are a catalyst, and in your light they see the truths they would rather avoid. Your divine path is not a destination, but a liberation. Every step forward tears through chains, breaking the illusions that once held you captive. This freedom you embody is the evidence of what lies ahead for those willing to face themselves. Your light illuminates the way, but it does not coddle. It demands that others confront their shadows, strip away their masks, and stand in their own power. You do not guide by pulling others along. You guide by standing firm, unshaken, allowing your light to be the beacon that calls them forward. For some, this light is a source of hope and clarity. For others, it is a reckoning. Those who resist are not rejecting you. They are rejecting the reflection your presence demands they see. They lash out, not because of who you are, but because of what you represent. An undeniable reminder that transformation requires confrontation. Resistance, however, is futile. The light you carry is relentless, not because it seeks to destroy, but because it seeks to purify. It is a fire that burns away illusions, whether welcomed or feared. Their reckoning is theirs alone. You are not responsible for their choices, nor are you obligated to dim your light for their comfort. By walking your divine path with conviction, you show them the freedom and fulfillment that await when the soul chooses truth. This is your role, not to save, but to shine. In doing so, you remind them through action and presence that their transformation is possible, even if it begins in resistance. Your light is not just a guide, it is a promise that freedom belongs to those who dare to face it. You were chosen for a reason. The power within you is not accidental or arbitrary. It is purposeful, precise, and unstoppable. You are the flame that cannot be extinguished, the light that pierces even the thickest shadow. Walk boldly in your truth, knowing that every step forward is aligned with the divine plan, and every obstacle is a lesson shaping your strength. The forces that challenge you are proof of your significance, not a sign of weakness. Trust the path that has been set before you, even when it feels steep or lonely. Divine protection surrounds you like an unbreakable fortress, shielding you from harm while pushing you to grow into the fullest version of yourself. You are never alone. The same power that fuels your light is guiding your steps. Release the doubts that weigh you down and embrace the certainty of your calling. You are not here to dim your brilliance for the comfort of others. You are here to radiate, unapologetically and fully. As you continue forward, remember that your light inspires transformation not just within yourself but in others. By standing firmly in your purpose, you give others permission to do the same. The world shifts in your presence because your existence demands change, and that is no small thing. Walk with the confidence that your role is irreplaceable, your purpose undeniable. Now step into your power and share your truth. Your story is a beacon for others, a reminder that the trials you face are not the end, but the beginning of something greater. Speak boldly, live authentically, and let your light guide those still searching for their own. Your voice matters, your experience matters, and by sharing it, you empower others to find their strength. This is your time. Claim it.